Subscribe to the Celtic Forever podcast on YouTube. Thank you.
Some news: Diego Jota of Liverpool has died in a tragic car accident, so rest in peace to Diego Jota. Very sad news for Liverpool and football family in general. Rest in peace, Diego Jota. Hello again, folks. Welcome to the Celtic Forever podcast. I'm Xander. We've got John here to go through all the Celtic news, all the Celtic signings, gossip and rumours, everything that's been happening in between. We'll go through the lot. We've also got a game of football coming up on Friday as well. Thank God. Let's say hello to John. How are you, John?
That was a bad start. Anyway, hello. How you doing, Xander? Demuted.
Nah, no bother, John. How you doing, John? It's good to get this football back into Queen's Park on Friday night. We're all looking forward to that, even though it's just a friendly. But it's been a long wait, hasn't it, John? It really has. I feel as though it's been a long time since we last kicked a ball, and it has been. So it's just good to get back into that feeling a football match and something to talk about, John.
Something proper worth talking about, rather than all this nonsense that's been on. Just no interested in other. See, when Celtic are no playing, I lose interest in the game, to be honest with you. You're just choking for Celtic to get back into it. It's torture.
Yeah, it's absolute torture, it is. But it's back, John, and it's back with a vengeance. We've got like 4 or 5 games and, quite a short period of time, starting with Queen's Park and then Cork City after that, John, a few days later. So, John, we'll get into all that a wee bit later on, but we'll start with, like we always start with, the news, any news surrounding Celtic just now. And then we'll go into the signings, and then we'll go into the gossip and rumours as well, John. We'll do it bit by bit. And then we'll talk about the Queen's Park game nearer the end, John. So let's start with the news. Then the funeral mass for John Clark is on Friday. St Mary's in the Calton, St Mary's Chapel in the Calton at 12 o'clock noon. John, that's, again, very sad, for the passing of John Clark. It really was. So his funeral mass is at 12 o'clock on Friday, John. Just a very sad day for Celtic to see our, Lisbon Lion, John, Celtic legend, finally being laid to rest, and God rest him.
Aye, absolutely, aye. A lot of the funerals seem to take place at St Mary's, don't they? It seems to be the place. Yeah. Tommy Burns and that as well. Obviously, Tommy was from the Kilton. But aye. It's always a sad occasion, isn't it, when you lose anybody, but losing a Lion as well. Just the biggest legends of the club, innit? The Lions and Jock Stein, the ultimate Celtic legends, and another one down, sadly. Rest in peace, John Clark.
Yeah, well said, John. Yeah, that's it. Celtic have announced that, spaces in St Mary's are limited, so, just to be respectful, if you're going along to St Mary's, there's no a lot of space in the chapel, and obviously the streets outside, and that'll be pretty busy as well, John. So, if you're going across there, just be respectful of the mourners that are there. Keep your distance, sort of thing. And as you say, John, rest in peace to John Clark. Right, John, let's move on then. Season tickets have sold out for the season already, John. They're gone, sold out. Waiting list is, big long waiting list for Celtic Park as well, John. But there's no surprises there, is there? The Celtic are sold the full allocation for the season 2025-2026.
Which makes you think, why are they not expanding the stadium capacity? Because they would sell another 20,000 easily. So yes. It always just makes me wonder, why they not expanding that stadium's capacity? I know there's quite a few empty seats, but that's due to a lot of boys maybe coming from Ireland or England that can't make it or whatever. Just increase the capacity of the stadium. They'll sell another 20,000 season tickets to Scottish boys that can make the games every week. So I just don't understand why they don't increase the capacity. Get that main stand, get it raised up another level, get the stadium the same height all the way around. Lovely jubbly.
Well, that's it, because we spoke about that a few weeks ago when there was rumours about this levelling off of the stadium. Obviously, we're not going to hear anything every day or anything. I've not heard anything since, to be honest with you. But, that may be something that's in the pipeline, John. And I think Celtic should seriously look at that. But we know we want the money spent on the squad, the team, John, to strengthen the team for the Champions League, etc., etc. We all understand that. But, there is manoeuvre there for that stadium capacity to be, raised to 70,000, whatever, John, 75,000. And I think it's something Celtic should really look at. As you say, a big waiting list there for season tickets. Sold out, totally sold out for this season coming up. But they wouldn't have to have a waiting list like that, John, if they raised the capacity, as you say, John. So that's a great point, actually. But it's in the pipeline, isn't it? It is in sort of a plans and, club, chairman, etc., looking at things like that, John. People that run the club, they're looking at that. So we'll maybe hear about something a wee bit more about that as the months and years roll on, John. So we'll wait and see what happens there. Moving on, Celtic are playing Manchester United Legends at Celtic Park in September, John. We obviously went down to Manchester last season and I won each draw in the friendly, if you remember. It was quite funny. I like these Legends games. They're quite funny. It's good to see all the old classic players, Celtic players, pulling on the Celtic hoops again, John, and watching them try to play football again. So they're coming to Celtic Park this year, John, September the 6th, and it's for a worthwhile cause. It's the Celtic FC Foundation. Money going to help people in Glasgow, Scotland, John, help feed them, poor people that are having to go to food banks, etc. The money goes towards that, so it's a great cause. So get your tickets bought, folks, £18 a ticket for that one. But it's good to see the old Man U Legends come to Celtic Park as well, John. It includes players like, let's have a wee look, Berbatov coming to Celtic Park, Dwight York coming to Celtic Park, Scholes, Saha, players like that, John, coming to Celtic Park. It's just great. They're tremendous days, these. And Celtic players involved in this, not really been announced yet, but obviously Tom Rogic has been announced that he'll be playing in it. There was Voz, he'll be there. Big Joe Hart, he'll be there, John. Players like Lustig, Joe Ledley, Gary Hooper, Big Samaras, Big Jan Vennegoor, of Hesselink, players like that, John. It's just great to see these guys back at Paradise.
Aye. I don't really enjoy them that much, but I still look at it as a Celtic game. I'm not, when I say I don't enjoy them that much, I do enjoy them, but obviously not as much as watching Celtic.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter what capacity you're of Celtic that you're watching, you still want Celtic to win, don't you? Even though it's just a charity friendly of Legends, and it's always good to see the old players, of course it is. You still want Celtic to win, no matter what. If somebody's wearing green and white hoops, I'm supporting them.
Yeah, that's it. It's also good to beat the English giants as well, isn't it, John? So I think we won last year down at Old Trafford, didn't we? I think it went to penalties. We won it. So a win's a win, isn't it? So we're looking for the same in this friendly. But the serious side of it, John, obviously the money going to the great cause. Food banks, etc., John. Money, well needed money, John. Money that's needed for these charities, John. That's the money's going to go there, and it's a very worthwhile cause. Food banks, Celtic FC Foundation helping out. Just back to the roots there, John. Celtic and the charities.
Aye, I know they still do the sleepover nights as well at Celtic Park for charity and all that stuff as well. They're just Celtic are steeped in charity, aren't they? That's what Celtic's always been about, and it's a great cause, like you say, it goes towards the poor people, and there is a lot of poor people out there. A lot of people struggling. They can't put food on their kids' plates and stuff, having to go to food banks. I just think it's 2025, and I don't think anybody should be living like that, Xander.
No, that's it, John. So, well said, actually. But unfortunately, they do, John. So this will be a tremendous help. So, as I say, £18 a ticket, folks. That's what the price for a ticket is for this one. All right, John. Let's move on to some signings that have came in the door. We obviously all know about these signings. We just want to have a wee chat about it. Let's start with Nygren, the sort of a right-sided forward, John, right winger possibly, can play through the middle as well. Nygren, 1.4. Right, before we go any further, John, when we were doing the gossip, the rumours over the last few weeks, John, and we were mentioning how much they were going to cost or what age they were, things like that, things that don't really matter because they're not actually Celtic players, but, we give them a quick mention anyway. From the commenter on, didn't we, who was calling us idiots because they got one of the guys' age wrong, was it? If they said somebody was 21 when they were 22, something like that, John. I don't know. An absolute idiot, John. I think you wanted to have a wee word on this, actually, because we're not going to do the comments today, but this was a commenter, Celtic supporter as well, because we got a year out. And then he left a comment, trying to correct us, John, and he got absolutely everything wrong about this particular player, John. You wanted to have a wee word about this, didn't you?
I just don't think it's right coming on to a Celtic podcast and calling you clueless because you got somebody's name wrong. I mean, if you want to go on every podcast, you'll find guys that are getting a lot more than somebody's age wrong, put it that way. Why is he not on these podcasts on shouting at them? The only thing I can think is he's somebody off another podcast.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I was thinking, John. Yeah, he's from another podcast, 100%. Because this was a channel, this guy had, because I check these things out. He uses his channel just for podcasts, John. So it's a new channel he's used it, so he can leave bad comments, John. So that's what he's used it for. I think you're bang on. He's maybe somebody we've blocked in the past. I'm not too sure. Or he's possibly, I don't know, I'm not sure, but he's possibly from another podcast.
But the thing is, even if he is for another podcast or somebody we blocked in the past or whatever because they were idiots, I mean, if you're going to act like an idiot, you'll get treated like an idiot on here. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
But don't come on calling somebody clueless because you got a boy's age wrong. I mean, and then they mentioned the price of the player. He got it wrong. So are you an idiot or a clown because you got it wrong as well, mate?
Yeah, I did reply to this guy and he didn't reply back, so there was no point in keeping it on there, so I deleted it. I kept it on as long as I possibly could to try and get a reply from this guy, and he didn't reply. I think it's the guy we were talking about, John, Nygren, John, right winger Nygren. I think it was him we were actually talking about before he actually signed. I think I said he was 22 and he's actually 23, right? Whoopie-doo, who cares? And then he came on and said, it cost us 1.3 million. And there's actually conflicting news stories about how much he's actually cost Celtic. And John, there's different prices. Some are saying 1.2 million, some are saying 1.3 or 4 million, some are saying 1.5 million. And some people are actually saying 2 million. Sky Sports have confirmed that it's 2 million we've actually spent on Nygren, John. So, doesn't really matter. It's no important stuff, but don't come onto a Celtic podcast and slate us for getting a few pence out, John, and getting maybe 3 months wrong in his age.
I don't know. I still don't know how old he is.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really care. I don't look up players' ages. I don't go about going, we've signed him. How old is he? It's not the first thing I think about when Celtic sign a player. The first thing I think about is he good enough for Celtic? I'll go and look at his videos, have a look at them, see how good he is, see what he looks like. And even at that, I don't go by these compilation clips of a player when they've signed for Celtic or they're linked with Celtic. I don't go looking at a compilation. You can't tell how good a player is by looking at his best moments, because I guarantee you, you're never going to get a player that's that consistent. He's always good like that. I mean, I'm just imagining that guy that left that comment. He is one of the guys that looks at compilation clips and thinks, look at the player we're getting, he's brilliant. I mean, did I think that when Lewis Palmer signed? I don't think so. I think if you go back and listen to the podcast at that time, I'll always tell you, I watched his compilation clip, but I don't go by that. I'll wait and see for myself. I guarantee you that guy that left that comment, he's one of them. And he had a wee thumbnail of Jota that says it all. He must be about, I don't know, 12 years old or something.
Okay. Nygren is 23, 4 months, 10 days and 23 hours old, John. So there you go. If that's what you're looking for. Idiot, honestly. Give him enough airtime, John. Let's move on. Obviously, we know about Tierney. He's came in on a free transfer, the left back. We're talking about the ones that came in officially, John, just now. Ross Doohan on a free John, goalkeeper, third choice goalkeeper, Ross Doohan. He's coming as well. And Callum Osmond, John, on a free transfer. Possibly a development fee for Fulham, John. Possibly, but that will not be too much. But he's a free transfer, John. Callum Osmond, striker. Don't know what age he is.
I don't know either, but I'm guessing about 19, 20, around about that age. Like I say, it's the last thing I'm interested in. I know he's young. I can see he's young.
Yeah.
He's an academy player. I know that, so I know he's young. But maybe that idiot, he'll come on and tell us that clown with his wee Jota picture.
Yeah, yeah, you're right, John. He's 19 actually. He's a 19-year-old lad. He's lots of potential there, John. And he's, I put on the wee video, didn't I? The wee shots video of him, scoring his goals for Fulham. So he looks decent. I know you can't really go by that, but he does know where the net is. So that's who we've got in, John. That's the 4 we've got in so far.
That's good. I mean, I've watched it again. I've watched his compilation clip. Looks good on the compilation clip. I'll say that. He looks good on the compilation clip, but I've said that about many players. We don't go by that. So anyway, that clown, if you want to come on to the podcast and debate with me, come on. Say you want to come on and have a wee debate with us. You know what I mean? You're welcome to come on and have a debate, and we'll see who's top trumps at the end of that.
Yeah, that's it, John. No, we'll move on. I've spoken enough about him, to be honest with you. Palmer, John, he's returned. You just spoke about him, didn't you, as well?
What did we call him again? Muttley.
He's returned, John, from Olympiacos. Thiago Holm, he's also returned, John. So we're hoping he's returning a better player. Thiago Holm, we'll get to see him in these pre-season friendlies, hopefully, John. LAFC, he's returned from USA, so we'll see what condition he's in. Don't know his age either. Don't know his age either, John.
I don't know anybody's age, but Marco Tellio, I did say to you weeks and weeks ago, I think he's one that Brendan will want to have another look at again.
Yeah.
So I was right there, and I'll still stand by that. I think Brendan will want a good look at him. That's a boy that comes with a reputation. It's been a really classy wee player, so we'll see what kind of player he comes back. I look forward to seeing him, see if he can maybe get a second chance, Sander.
Yeah, I think he'll get a second chance, and as you say, we'll wait and see what he's got to offer us.
And we also need, like we keep talking about, is a defensive midfielder in that Callum McGregor role when Callum's injured or needs a rest. I think that's a position that needs filled badly.
Definitely, John. I think we need to be looking at that this season, and I think he will be, Brendan. I think he will be looking at that. Tellio, he's also returned, but I think, Palmer, Tellio, possibly Thiago Holm as well, will be sent right back out on loan. But we'll wait, John. We'll wait and see what happens. Okay, players out, John. Greg, we know he was a free agent on the 31st of May, John, so he wasn't a Celtic player anyway, but he's officially left the club now, John. Signed for PAOK. We broke that about 3.5, 4 weeks ago that he was going to sign for PAOK, John, didn't we? He signed on a free transfer, obviously, Greg Taylor. Serial winner for Celtic, John. Good luck to the wee man.
It's a big loss, that, Greg. We're going to miss him. Definitely going to miss Greg Taylor. And the left-back options, obviously, we've got Kieran Tierney in, which Kieran Tierney as well, know he's just a top class left back, absolute top class, but how long can he stay injury free, which is the big concern of every Celtic fan. How long can he stay injury free? We need to get another left back now to replace Greg, to be honest with you, because I don't know, time will tell, Xander. We don't know with Kieran. Maybe he's over the worst of his injuries. Hopefully, fingers crossed, everybody, Kieran's over the worst, and we're going to see the top class Kieran Tierney, because I think letting Greg go was a bad move. I know Greg decided to go, but I think Celtic should have had him signed up long before they were linked with Kieran Tierney coming back, Xander. Away a couple of years ago, Greg should have had a new contract offered to him when he was flying. He was the number one left back. I think Greg Taylor at that time should have been offered a new contract. Maybe he was, maybe he turned it down. I don't know. I never heard anything about that, but I think Celtic's let a really good one go. That's a fantastic free signing for Pauk. Fantastic. No, a free player like that, you can't complain, can you?
No, you cannot complain. And I think it's all down to the player, like you say, John. I think Celtic tried to get him to stay, but the player had made up his mind, didn't he? So good luck to him anyway, John. Did a wee dig at Chris Boyd before he left as well, didn't he? So
Did they? I never heard of it. Did they offer him a new contract 2 years ago? I would highly doubt that, Xander. But maybe they did, maybe they never. I really, really don't know. But I'm just saying, I think Celtic could have worked a lot sooner to get Greg Taylor on a longer contract a couple of years ago, and we'd have got a good transfer fee for Greg. He's a 10, 12 million pound player for me.
yeah, of course, yes, John. He's gone, but John, you know, it's as you say, what a sign for PAOK, John. He's you know, top class player, John. That's what you can say about me. He's no longer our player, is he? So, what can we do, John? As regards to Schlupp, John, Jeffrey Schlupp, I think he's returned to his parent club as well, John, hasn't he? Schlupp. We don't know if we're going to get him back on another
Yes, I have, Jeffrey.
year's loan. I'm not too sure, John, but we definitely need another left back's cover anyway.
Aye, well, we'll keep an eye on that one, because that's a really important position, that way. Kieran with his injury troubles. I don't want to keep bringing that up. I hope Kieran Tierney's no listening. We love you, Kieran. You're a cracking player, but we're all aware, every Celtic fan is aware of the injury problems, and we really need cover for that position. But when Kieran is playing, we can only hope we get at least 8 months out of him in a season. I'm hoping, and I'm hopeful as well, that we can get that out of Kieran. I'm just hoping that he's over the worst of it. He's one of the best left backs in the country, Kieran Tierney.
Yeah.
And if we can get 8 months in a season out of Kieran Tierney, then we've won an absolute watch. 25, 30 million pound player on a free contract. Again, you can't complain, but we need cover in that position now, Xander, and we need it quick.
Yeah. Totally agree yet again, John. It's a problem position. It's a wee bit, isn't it, John? You know, we sort of dropped Greg Taylor last season, remember? And when we brought Schlupp in, but he only lasted the 3 or 4 games, then Greg was right back in there. So that's the kind of player that Greg Taylor is, isn't he? Brilliant wee left back. So he'll do well over there, to be honest with you. By the way, just a wee quick one, John. Benjamin Nigrin, John. It might be Benjamin Nigrin. We're not too sure the pronunciation, but it might be Nigrin, John. But it's
I'm sure somebody will want to tell you.
That's it. Right, John, let's move on. Lager Bielke, he is more or less away. Might be already away, actually, by the time we're talking on this, because a few hours ago, the medical was booked for Lager Bielke over at Braga, John, over in Portugal. So, also though, Lager Bielke is going to sign a contract at Braga, John. That'll be him officially left the club. We'll wait to see what happens there. Good luck to big Lager Bielke anyway, John. Didn't really have a chance at Celtic, did he?
No, he never had any chance. I've never really liked the look of him anyway, to be honest with you. I just don't think he's Celtic quality. But I've said that about players in the past, and then they've went to other clubs and absolutely shone in other clubs, haven't they?
Yeah, John. But I don't remember seeing him much in a Celtic top, once or twice, didn't he? As you say, he didn't really, shine for me when he did get his chance. But you've got to get more than 2 or 3 games in a Celtic jersey. But it looks as though he's off ski anyway, John. He's off ski. The big man, he's away, so good luck to him. Daniel Cummings, John, the Celtic, youngster. Daniel Cummings broke into the team a season or 2 ago, didn't he? His contract ran out, John. He's away to West Ham United on a free transfer. So Daniel Cummings, John, he's off ski as well. What do you think of that?
I never seen much of Daniel Cummings. Never seen enough of him to make a comment on it. But he looked half decent when he played. Never did anything spectacular, and when he had these wee shots in the first team. But it's hard to tell, innit? It's hard to tell when they don't get a chance.
Yeah, that's it, John. Just fleeting appearances, it's not enough if you're going to make it. You need that proper 4, 5, 6 games, didn't you, to show what you can do. But Daniel, he's away anyway, John. Away to West Ham. Good luck to him. Nicholas Kuhn, John. He's obviously linked to Como, but it looks as though Como have sort of signed a right winger, John, today. Funny enough, Jaden Adaye, they've signed him instead, John, for about 12 million, I think it is. They've signed. Doesn't matter how much it is they've signed him for, to be honest with you. They've signed a right winger, John, so maybe the interest in Nicholas Kuhn will drop. It's definitely, as regards to goal, but John, I think RB Leipzig are still interested in him.
I think whatever way you look at that, he's for the off, Nicholas Kuhn. I don't think he's happy. He never looks happy, does he, Nicholas Kuhn? He's one of the players, and I'm sure everybody listening will agree, even some idiots, but he just never looks happy, does he? He always looks miserable. He's never got a smile on his face. I've never been a fan of players like that, Xander, very grumpy looking on the park. To me, it just reminds me of players that spread a bad influence throughout the team. When I see players like that, I mean, grumpy looking, never smiling, always angry, I think that has a bad influence on the team.
Yeah, it can, John, but I don't think it had any sort of influence on it. It happened at Celtic. I never know, maybe it did. Scottish Cup being a prime example, but no, John, in all seriousness, he bangs in the goals, that he's got loads of assists, loads of goals. He's a really decent wee winger, isn't he? And I think that's why we're looking at. And I'm hearing different reports on the fee for Nicholas as well, from 12 million to 15 million to 18 million to 20 million. John, we don't actually know. No one actually knows. So anybody wants to leave a comment that I've got the price wrong, we don't actually know. Nobody knows. The only people that know is the Celtic board, John. So, no, if we can get the 15, 18 or 20 million, John, for Nicholas Kuhn, John, it would be tremendous, because we only paid the 3.5 million for him, remember? So, anything over that is an absolute bonus, because he's gave us 2 years of goals and assists.
Well, he's a really good player, Nicholas Kuhn. I'm not disputing that. He's got bags of talent, bags of pace. He's got a finish, great assists, but just no consistent enough and too moody. That's just what I think of Nicholas Kuhn when I see him. If he was more consistent, if he played like he does at his top level on a weekly basis, you're talking a 30, 40 million pound players under, but you weren't getting that regular enough. You were only getting that. You go to in the Champions League. I think after the Champions League, it just seemed to have went downhill. His performances were poor. He was crossing the ball right out the park. He wasn't scoring as many goals. Wasn't scoring any goals, really, was he? One or two. But I just think after the Champions League, his performances took a big slump.
Yeah. And what we don't want here, John, is an unhappy. I know you're saying he looks unhappy, but what you don't want is an actual unhappy player at the club. Somebody that has put the tools away. Because Como are more than likely to pull out of this one now, with the looks of things, if they've already signed a winger or they're about to sign a winger. And then, other teams pull out, John. So what you don't want is a sort of an unhappy player at the club, John. So if he wants away, we just hope that, somebody comes in, pays the fee, and he goes with our blessings as well, John. But we definitely don't want an unhappy player at the club. If he wants away, John, then we need to get rid of him.
Aye, but he's always been unhappy, in my opinion. He just always looks unhappy. He obviously wasn't unhappy in the Champions League. He was absolutely flying. But he's a good player. And like he says as well, we only paid about £3 million for him. Yeah. So if you get anything above 15 million, it's just, again, it's a cracking bit of business by Celtic. And I would wish Nicholas all the best. Just try and smell a wee bit more.
Okay. All right, we'll move on, John, because there's a couple more to go through here. Let's have a wee look. Yang, John, will be a bit of interest in Yang down at England. There's a few teams looking. I'll say that again. There's a few teams looking at him from England, John. But the one that's sort of probably a bit more interesting, if you like, is Legia Warsaw, John, Polish team Legia, are interested in Yang. So team sniffing about Yang as well. I like Yang, John. I think he's a good player. When he comes on, he does good stuff. He's very direct. He can score a goal now as well, John. Scored a few goals. Was it, 6 goals at the end of last season he scored, Yang. So he's got goals. He's got assists. He's got a bit of strength as well, John. I like him. And I think that's the reason why there is teams sniffing about him.
But I think that would just be a loan deal. I think Brendan likes Yang as well. I think a loan for Yang would be the best move for him. I would like him to go maybe no I always like to see our players going on loan in Scotland so we can keep a close eye on them. But I think it would maybe do a good job at maybe Dundee United, Hibs, Hearts. No Hearts, I wouldn't like to see my Hearts. Aberdeen, maybe, something like that.
Yeah.
I think it'd be great for one of them. Just so we can keep an eye on him. Because we can all see Yang, bags of talent, absolute bags of talent. He's only a young boy as well. And I think give him 2-3 years, he'll be a top player. He's a cracking player right now.
Yeah, he's a brilliant player, John. I like him, as I say. I don't want to see him going on loan. I don't want to see him leaving. I want to see him staying. And our winger positions that we're sort of short just now, aren't we? We really are. We've got James Forrest, who's injured just now. We've got Jota, who's also injured just now, John, as well. And we've got Kuhn, who's looking as though he's on his way out. And we can't really afford to lose another one, John, and Yang, unless Brendan is looking at the market to sign another one or two, John. But we've got Benjamin. He's come in. He's a right winger, John. So he can play right wing. He can play through the middle. Benjamin Nigrin, he's a winger, obviously. But John, I think we're a wee bit short, so I don't think we can really afford to lose players like Yang. But as you say, possibly if he goes sent out on loan, I think we should be looking at bringing another one or two in.
We definitely will have to bring another one or two in. James Forrest, getting to the end of his career, he's picking up a lot of injuries. He's not going to be a regular, I don't think. Jamesy seems to be quite injury prone now, doesn't he, Jamesy? So
yeah,
I think he's going to be a bench warmer. I think next season, Jamesy, maybe see him make an odd appearance now and again, pretty similar to what he did this season. But we need fresh talent in there. Oh, the Champions League qualifiers are coming up. We need quality in that team, and we need quality quick. Get them bedded into the team, get them ready for the Champions League playoffs. Because you don't want it coming round to it's getting late in the transfer window and we're still looking to sign players that's capable of challenging in the Champions League, which is how it's looking right at this minute. I mean, things can change quickly, but right at this minute, it's looking like we're going to be getting to the end of that transfer window and still searching for talent capable of competing in the Champions League.
Yeah, as regards to money spent, John, if we're talking 1.34, whatever, 1.5, whatever Negrin cost, John, we've only spent just over £1.5 million so far with that big kitty we have there, John. So I think there is still a lot of signings to come, and I also think that signings coming in the door, or big signings coming in the door, should I say, it depends on whether we qualify for the Champions League.
Aye, well, it's a big if right now, isn't it? Qualifying for the Champions League. Squad's looking a wee bit thin. So, look, we just need to fatten that squad up with some fantastic talent. I'm sure Brendan's working hard behind the scenes. But all these players that we're linked with, I don't even think they're not even worth mentioning until such times there's something with a bit of proof behind it. And everything that we're linked with right now, there's absolutely no proof behind any of it. Nothing. No,
it's just gossip, John. And another one that's in the gossip mill, if you like, the rumour mill, is Hayato Inamura, John, the Japanese centre-back, John, who can play, right back as well, John, right centre-back. He's another one linked to the club, John. Don't know if you've heard this boy. I think there's possibly a medical booked for this boy. I'm not too sure, John, but Inamura, John, what do you think? They're a Japanese player coming to Celtic.
Oh, I've seen that link. That's getting passed about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Again, can't really comment on it until there's anything solid. We'll wait and see what happens. But Japanese players, they're loyal as well, aren't they, the Japanese players? I know that even Kyogo, he was loyal to an extent. I think Kyogo obviously thought he was going to move into France, was going to enhance his chances of playing for the Japanese national squad. That never happened. So he's a guy that's just wasted his time moving to France. We'll get Daizen Maeda, who's getting linked with the club sniffing about him. I don't think he's gone anywhere. I think there's a level of loyalty when it comes to Dyson Mider. I think he's happy at Celtic. I think Hatate, I don't think he's gone anywhere. I think he's happy enough at Celtic as well. So, there's a good level of loyalty when it comes to the Japanese players, so they're always worth looking at.
Yeah. I think, as you say, John, I think Dyson, he's gone nowhere. The actual interest in Dyson has well and truly dropped into it. But that goes for nothing, John. He could still, have all sorts of players coming in from, because he is a world-class talent, Dyson Mider. So we just hope that he stays put, John. The other one that's on the radar is a £1.5 million fee for striker Shin Yamada, John. The Celtic links there for Yamada. Is this the potential replacement for Kyogo, John? Because we've never really replaced Kyogo, have we?
No, we've never replaced Kyogo, but it's still early yet, so we'll wait and see again. I know you keep throwing these players at me. I've never heard of any of them. So I can only keep saying we'll wait and see what happens. But if there's any truth in it, then we'll start taking an interest in it. See, you can throw as many names at me as you like. I'll not go looking them up until there's any cast iron proof. But that's just me. I know you're different, but that's just me. Setting my ways when it comes to looking players up. If I see somebody linked with Celtic, I don't automatically jump onto YouTube and find a compilation clip. That's just pointless.
No, they've got to sign first, haven't they? Yamada, a former teammate of Rio Hatate as well, John. So he's got pals at the club already. But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see, John, if it happens. All right, that's it. That wraps up the news, the signings, the gossip, and the rumours. Quite a wee bit to go through there, John, wasn't it? And by the way, just as a wee disclaimer, not all ages were accurate, and not all signing fees were accurate either. And why should they be? Because it's just rumours. Right, John. Excuse me. Queen's Park, John, on Friday night. We're back to the football. Let's do a wee quick, preview of that. We can't do a proper preview, obviously, but John, we played Queen's Park last season, didn't we? In a brilliant end-to-end game. I think it finished 4-3 to 4-6. Sorry, 4-6 or 6-4 to Celtic. Obviously, Celtic were away from home like they are on Friday. But a similar game would be good, John. Goals, plenty of action. Queen's Park, a good wee team. They've already, they've already played 2 games, haven't they? They've beat Annan Athletic, and they've drawn with Albion Rovers.
Aye, well, this is it. That's all it is, really. I remember watching the friendly last year. It's quite an entertaining game. The only thing I remember about it, off the top of my head, was a lot of goals, and the cameraman looked like he was standing on a box. Very low down camera, so you couldn't really see the action that was happening across the other side of the park, because it was played at lesser Hampden, lesser camera height. I remember that. Yeah,
I remember it for the colour clash and the horrible colour with the low sun and the Celtic away strip. Remember that sort of a light green away strip? We played in that. Kyogo scored a hat-trick in that one. Matt Riley and also scored in that game, John. 6-4. I think one of the youngsters came on and scored also. I can't remember who it was. Apologies for that. At the City Stadium, John, that's what it's called, Lesser Hampden into the City Stadium. And it's also on Celtic TV as well, John. So it's just the very first run out, John, after a good few weeks rest for the players. We just need to get some minutes in these players' legs.
Aye, this is it. I mean, it's the first one. It's the first game back. And obviously, the players are back in training just now. They're probably all ready to go. I bet they can't wait to get going. And one man that will be looking forward to get going is Callum McGregor after his penalty miss against Scottish Cup winners Aberdeen.
Scottish Cup winners Aberdeen, John. They're still saying it, believe it or not. They're still... Aberdeen's new title is Scottish Cup winners Aberdeen. They're still doing it. It's everywhere. BBC, Sky, whatever. Evening Times, Daily Record. Yeah, John, he'll be choking to get back, Callum. He's you'll see refreshed Callum McGregor this season. I think you'll see I can't say more determined, because Callum is always determined, but John, I think you'll see a different Callum McGregor this season.
Look, he's going to be raring to go, Callum. he missed that penalty, and I hope he doesn't listen to this, reminding the guy that he missed a penalty against Scottish Cup winners Aberdeen. But I felt bad for him. I really felt bad for him, but you could see in his eyes, and you can see in his eyes after the interviews, that really upset him. And I think we're going to see an outstanding Callum McGregor this season. Not that he's never anything less than that. He's always outstanding, but he'll not want to feel that again, Xander.
Yeah, that's it, John. He's, as I say, different Callum this season. And the more quality players we bring in to surround Callum McGregor, the better, John. Because I think we were a wee bit short in midfield at the end of the season, and I think that showed the St Mirren game before it, the game before that also, and then the cup final, obviously, where Scottish Cup winners Aberdeen lifted the trophy, John. So I think our midfield will be stronger this season. I think we'll have a stronger midfield. I think we'll get a better season out of Arnie Ingles as well, John. Hopefully, John, that will be the case. And obviously Rio, he'll be back from injury as well, John. So, and talking of injury, John, I think apart from Jota, who will not be back to December or January or something, John, whenever that may be, there's talk of Cameron Carter-Vickers, John, who is also injured just now, who's not been pictured in training. There's rumours that he went through an operation during the summer there as well, possibly on his knee, because he's had problems with his knee. We don't know, John, but that's warning sign from me. Big Cameron Carter-Vickers is injured.
Aye, look, apparently he needs an operation. I don't know if it's just gossip or whatever, but if he does need an operation, get it done right now, get it done as early as possible. And I just hope Celtic have any intention of selling the big man, Rocky. I'd like to keep him. That's a player I'd like to see stay at Celtic and get in there and take his chance, because he's a crack defender. He's got a lot to offer, that boy. I just hope Celtic have got no plans on selling him, because I think we're going to need him.
Yeah, there's been links for him leaving as well. No, during the summer, more links than our butchers. But no, John, I hope he stays as well, because he's a decent big defender, John. Let Lagerbielke go, John. Yeah, fair enough, but keep Big Naroki. He's got something, he's got strength, John. He's a good defender, Big Naroki. So we'll wait and see what happens there. But I think he'll be staying put, John, which will be good news, because we need our defenders, John. Obviously, big Liam Scales, Austin Trusty and Naroki is there, three, John, into it. So we need them, especially if Big Cameron is indeed injured, John. But wait and see what happens. If he is injured, John, as I say, it's a concern for me. We can't go into this Champions League qualifier without Cameron Vickers.
No, we need our best players for that. And that's what the worrying thing is, isn't it? I mean, the Champions League qualifier isn't far away, and the Celtics signings so far have been amounting to about 1.6 million or whatever it is. Again, don't quote me, I don't know the official fees, but it's no a lot of money for a team that's wanting to compete in the Champions League. You've got to spend more than that. I'm sure they will. I know it's early days, but I know I'm only joking. I know it's early days. Celtic will spend a lot more than that. But right now, I mean, it might look a wee bit bleak, but that's just the Celtic way, isn't it? It's very, very slow in the transfer market. We always have been.
Yeah, that's it. I think it all depends on whether we qualify or not, John. So we'll wait and see. I think I said a few weeks ago the draw for the qualifier is the end of July or the start of August. I can't remember the exact date. You need to go back to the podcast to listen to the date, but it's no long, John, to find out what the draw is for our Champions League draw. I also read out the teams as well. I can't remember who it was either, to be honest with you. Anyway, John, let's move on because we'll wrap up the wee preview, John. There's no referee appointed, no official appointment. I'm not saying there's no referee. I'm not saying there's no referee for the game against Queen's Park. I just mean there's been no appointment of a referee officially yet. So we'll hopefully find that out tomorrow who the referee's going to be, and it's a 7:45 kickoff. John, that'd be funny, wouldn't it? No referee for the Queen's Park Celtic game. So we'll find out who the referee is probably on Thursday evening. And we'll wait and see who that is. Probably be our good friend, Mr. Beaton, John.
The idea. I mean, some people might want me to confirm that. I really don't know. I maybe have to look that up just so we don't get bombarded in the comments.
No, don't worry, John. I've already looked it up. It's not been confirmed yet. So no confirmation of the referee as of yet, as of Wednesday night. Right, John. Okay, that wraps it up. Don't want to say good luck to Celtic. It's just a bounce game into it. Just a wee kick about. Get some energy into the legs. Everybody, hopefully it'll be one of the cases of 2 teams for each half, John. A team for each half. One team in the first half, another team in the second half. It means everybody gets at least 45 minutes in their legs.
This is it, isn't it? And it's a good place to start your pre-season friendly as well, isn't it? You're still in Glasgow, so you don't really have anywhere to travel to, so that's all right. Just a wee bus journey along the road to Lesser Hampden. Wee kick-about for the players, get them in the mood for it. I'm sure they'll have a few wee kick-abouts at Lennoxtown before they go there. But it's going to be one of their games, isn't it? A lot of youngsters will get a chance, show Brendan what they can do. But look, it's Celtic, isn't it? I'm just looking forward to it. I just hope that Queen's Park, I found a bigger box for the cameraman to stand on. That's all I'm hoping for.
Yeah, that's it, John. And as regards to the 2 games that they've already played, I'm not sure if it's the League Cup or if it was just friendlies they've already played, John. I'm not too sure.
I think it's friendlies, Sander, because the League Cup starts on the 12th.
Right, that's what it is then. It's friendlies, John, so they're ready for the League Cup, isn't it? So they've played 2 games either way. Whatever way you're looking at, John, they've played 2 games more than us. So they'll have energy in their legs. And that's what it's all about, isn't it, John? It's just trying to get these players ready for the start of the new season and these Champions League qualifiers, John. That's what it's all about for us.
Well, this is it. But look, that's speaking of the League Cup. I'm looking forward to that starting. Scottish football. I watch anything to do with Scotland. League Cup kicks off on the 12th of July, folks. If you're looking for your Scottish football fix, I look forward to that. The group stages of the League Cup. That'll be interesting, Sander. A lot of Premier League teams in there as well. It's always interesting watching the group stages of any competition in Scotland. I mean, yeah, we've only got one competition with group stages, but I enjoy the early stages of the League Cup. I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's as you say, you've waited a long summer and then suddenly you've got the football back, John, and that's exciting times. Can't wait, John. Cannot wait. And Friday is just a wee taster, isn't it, I suppose. Right, John, let's get into the rest of the friendlies, John, because, you know, these fixtures have been up and down all through the summer. We don't know who we're playing 1 minute, then I guess announced we're playing this team, that team, John. Let's go through who we have officially got coming up over the next 2 or 3 weeks, John. Let's go through it. Obviously, Friday night, we've got Queen's Park. Then on the 8th of July, we've got Cork City in the Cork Super Cup. So that's us over to Ireland to play Cork City. Looking forward to that as well. Put on a wee video about that, actually. Have a wee look at that. Then we've got a Portugal tour, John, a tour of Portugal. It's not actually a tour of Portugal because I think both these games are in the Lisbon area, John, in Lisbon or the surrounding area. Excuse me. We have, let me get this pronunciation right because I don't want any comments. Estrela de Adamora at 11 a.m, John. We've got them, John, on the 11th of July, John. Or is it the 12th? Sorry, the 12th of July, John. And then we play Sporting Lisbon on the 16th of July. So a wee tour of Portugal there, John.
I knew about the Sporting Lisbon one. I never knew about the other one. So that's fresh news to me, that one. Look forward to them. Obviously starts the same day, the 16th, the 12th of July, sorry. That's the day the League Cup starts as well. Yeah,
12th of July, John. Estrela de Adamora. Very hot over there. And then we've got Newcastle on the 19th, John. So that's 1, 2, 3 games in just over a week, John. Friendlies, Newcastle. Celtic Park on the 19th of July. We're obviously all looking forward to that one. Newcastle coming to Paradise, John. Okay, then we enter the Como Cup. The Como Cup is on, John. It's officially on. Like you broke this about 18 weeks ago. And it starts off with a game against Ajax. If you're looking forward to that, Ajax, one of our old enemies into Ajax. I like Ajax actually. I think they're a good team. But they're a decent team, John. They're a very, very good team, Ajax. So I've got them at the start of the Como Cup, and then we play either Como, John, or Al Ali, not Al Halal, like I said the last time. It's Al Ali, AHLI, on the 27th of July. So whoever wins between Como and Al Ali, John, we play them second. So don't know, John. Might be Nicholas Kuhn bound Como or Al Ali, John. Either one of the two on the 26th or the 27th of July, depending on who wins that game, John. So 2 games in the Como Cup as well, John. So that's, let me add it up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, John. That's a lot of pre-season friendlies, isn't it?
I have. It'll no do the players any harm to get started early, get the legs up to speed for the season kicking off and the Champions League qualifier. But I get back to Ajax. They are a good team, good youth set up. Yeah. Ajax, they bring these players through their youth system and sell them on for millions. A really, really well run club, Ajax.
Yeah, exactly, John. They're a decent team as well. Lots of ability, as you say. Youth system, brilliant, top of the range. As you say, make plenty of money out of their youth players as well, don't they? So yeah, we've got them, John. I'm looking forward to that in the Como Cup. So now 2 games there, John. At the very end of our pre-season, John, and then it's into the season and the Champions League qualifiers, John. So plenty of football ahead, John. It's just great and brilliant, John, actually, just to get this football back up and running again.
It certainly is. The big Shirley Bassey no go to Ajax.
Sorry, John, say it again.
The big Shirley Bassey, did he no go to Ajax?
He did. Big Bassey. By the way, he was a decent big player for them. Big Bassey. He did go to Ajax, John, but I don't know where he is now. Don't know. I think he's back in England, isn't he, Bassey? I'm not sure. But no, John, he did. I'm not sure of any of the players that play for Ajax just now. I didn't really look that much into it. We'll do a preview of that nearer the time, obviously, so we'll get a wee bit more info on Ajax then. But no, John, I think Big Bassey did go to Ajax, and I think they paid a fair wee bit of money for him. So,
Fulham, is it?
Sorry?
He's at Fulham.
Fulham, is he? Is he back in? Yeah, I thought he was back in England, John. I thought that was the case. Yeah. But so we'll wait and see, John, who their team is, Ajax, but I'm sure they're littered with superstars, decent quality players in Ajax, John. And then Como, John, Italian team Como or Al Ali on the 27th, as I've already said. So plenty of games to look forward to, John. Right, that wraps up the friendlies. That wraps that up, John. Just one more wee thing for me to go through before we call it a day. Well, 2 things actually. I need to mention the competition as well, actually. But what I want to do is run through our rivals, John. We need to have a wee look at our rivals. We've not done this in a few weeks, who they've brought in and who's left. Because we need to, John, we need to know, because they are our challengers, let's be honest. It's no Aberdeen, it's no Dundee United, it's no Hearts. Yeah, they'll give us a game now and again, these teams, but Rangers are our main challengers, so let's have a wee look at it. Who have we got here? Rothwell, John, 30-year-old central midfielder. They've signed him. Never heard them, to be honest. Is it Joe Rothwell? Joe Rothwell, 30 years of age, John, central midfielder.
Was that the UFO incident? That was Roswell, wasn't it?
Roswell, yeah. 400,000 they've paid for him, John. That's a fair old chunk of that. 20 million gone already. Lyle Cameron from Dundee, obviously, on a free transfer. They've signed him. Max Aarons on a loan, 25-year-old right back from Bournemouth, John. He's there to replace Super Tav, obviously. And Ben Davis, he's also returned to the club after a loan fee as well, John. So that's 4 in the door, if you like. Out, they have Balogun out, Tom Lawrence out, Yanis Hadji out, Czerny out, and Fernandez also out, John. So not a lot happening over there either, to be honest with you.
I like Czerny. I thought Czerny was a good. I know he's a total clown, you know what I mean, spraying the Celtic fans with water and stuff. But yeah, what a total clown. But look, you can't take it away from him. He was a good player, Czerny. I did like him, and Davis as well. I thought he was a decent defender.
Yeah, he's back.
He's back.
But they've got rid of Balogun, John. I thought he was decent. And I also thought Hadji was a decent player for them. I'm surprised they got rid of him. But that's it. That's the incomings and the outgoings over at Ibrox, John. We'll keep a wee eye on what happens over there for obvious reasons, John.
Big wages he was on, Xander.
Yeah, that's it, John.
Hadji, big wages. That's probably why they get rid of him. Can't afford them.
Yeah, he's, as I said ages ago, John, weeks and weeks ago, that 20 million, half of that has to be spent, maybe even more than half of that has to be spent on wages. So they need to get that share issue up and running as quick as possible. Right, John, excuse me, I've got a wee bit of cough in it. The only thing that's left for me is the competition. Mention the competition, a 30-player league. There's going to be 30 players to enter this league table. It's a correct score league. All we want off you every week is the correct score guess for every Celtic game. So if Celtic are playing, we want the correct score. If you get it right, you get 3 points into the league table. And whoever's at the top of the league at the end of the season with the most correct scores wins the prize full of goodies. Celtic stuff, John. Hundreds of Celtic stuff there. Legends frame prints, metal wall plaques, posters, footballs, lighters. Zippo lighters, that is, by the way, no cheap nonsense here. Celtic Forever pens, ski rings, blah, 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 blah. Big box full of stuff, John. I don't even want to go through it. There's that much stuff there, but it's a massive prize, a great prize. You'll get it delivered to your door, absolutely free of charge if you enter, and all we need you to do is get into the comments with your name, competition entry as well, and that'll be you entered. We're only looking for another 8 names, folks. That's all, 8. So we're nearly there to get the 30. We've got 22 already, and we only need another 8. So get your entries, folks, in, because as I say, I can get the positions filled up on a YouTube short, no problem. But we've done no bad, John. I put a wee post on, and we got another 8 or so entries in there, John. So that was quite good. I'll maybe put another post up. But anybody listening to this, get your names into the comments section. Don't be shy. Competition starts at the very beginning of the new league season, John. So we're nearly there, John. Just 8 more to go.
Aye, Bill, just correct you a wee bit. You don't get a big box of goodies delivered to your door for entering. You get a big box of goodies to your door for winning. I know exactly what you meant, but anyway, I'll just correct you with that. But
no, you don't get anything for entering. You just get entered into the league table. That's all you get entered into that. You get the prize for winning, obviously, John. Yeah, if I said that, apologies for that. No, big box of goodies at the end of the season. If you're top of the league and you're the champion, you'll get your big spread on the podcast as well. Your name and lights, if you like, and a big box of goodies delivered free of charge to your door. It's also free to enter, John, but we don't make any money out of this. We're no monetized channel. It's all free of charge. So no profit at all, again, for us in this whatsoever, John. It's just a bit of fun.
Aye, it is a bit of fun. It's a big league table, 30 players there. It's a big table, Sander. I think you went a bit heavy on the numbers there. I think 20 would have been enough, but so there you go, folks. There's another 8 positions to be filled. Get your name in, enter that league table, watch yourself climbing up the league table. That's the fun part. Every week we'll put the league table up on the screen. You'll see your name, how far you're in that 30-man league table. Don't get relegated though, because you don't get a chance next season.
Yeah, John, that's exactly what I was going to say, because what you don't want is your name in the Hall of Shame. The bottom 15. If you finish in the bottom 15, you're in the Hall of Shame. If you finish in the top 15, it's the Hall of Fame, isn't it, John? So you want to finish in that top half of the group table. Finish in the top half, get promoted. Well, there isn't any promotion, but if you finish in the bottom 10, you get relegated or something. I don't know. It'll be good fun. We'll wait and see what happens. There can only be one winner, remember, everybody. So a 30 league table. Just keep an eye on your name every week. Come out to the podcast, look at the league table, see where you are in the league table. And then if you're doing bad, you just need to tell yourself, do better next week. Because like Xander says, you don't want to find yourself in that Hall of Shame along with Sevco. Okay. And just one other wee thing on it, John, just as a wee disclaimer. If there's 2 or even 3 people at the top of the league with the same amount of points come the end of the season, it has to go to a prize draw, unfortunately. But I don't think that's going to happen, John, is it? Because it's very difficult to get these correct scores, as our competition between us two proves, John.
Look, if you're guessing the score of a game, it's your luck in it. It's just you either get it right or you don't. Nobody knows what the score in a game's going to be. So in any game across the world. So it's pot luck. Just get your prediction in before the game kicks off, of course. And you just never know your luck.
Yeah, that's it. It's all fun and games, folks. Just a wee bit of fun. So get your name into the comments and that'll be you entered. Right, John, that wraps that up. Quite a wee bit we went through there, actually, John. We've not even done a comment. No comments, and that's over an hour. So there was quite a wee bit. There's been a week since we've been on. Just under a week since we've been on. And there's quite a wee bit been happening at Celtic. So we'll be back on, I think we'll be on just before the Cork City game and the Cork Super Cup, John. Another trophy potentially for us there. So we'll be on to a preview of that next week, folks. So the day before the Cork City game, we'll come on, do a preview, and we'll give you a wee update on any other signings, gossip, news, and all that kind of stuff as well, John. So thanks for coming on, buddy. I appreciate that. And we'll see you on the preview of the Cork City game.
Aye, and make sure you're there for that, because you don't want anybody leaving comments saying you said you would be on before the Cork City game and you never done. Very unprofessional. Yeah,
that's it, John. We never gave that guy a break, did we? Right, John. Okay, we'll wrap it up there. Thanks for coming on, buddy. Hail for now, and we'll catch you very soon.
Speak to you later, Xander. Hail.
Hail, buddy. Cheers.
Subscribe to the Celtic Forever podcast on YouTube. Thank you.